We are officially just 23 days away from the start of the NFL season, less than a month until the first kickoff, tailgates firing up, the chase for the Lombardi Trophy. It all begins in just 23 days. The storylines are everywhere. And that brings us to BMAC's playoff prediction. Our Super Bowl champ, NFL analyst Bryant McFadden here with his NFL playoff prediction. Who does he see coming out on top? Any dark horses? Well, let's ask the man. All right, we got BMAC joining us back here on HQ. So the AFC, we're going to start over there. This bracket is it's always a tough one, and there's one thing I need to ask you about, and I'm not calling you a homer here, but what makes you believe that Pittsburgh belongs in the playoff mix this year, my guy?
Well, they went to the playoff last year with Russell Wilson leading the way. And clearly, he didn't have any pizzazz left. But they found a way to get the things done. So what we've seen from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jenny, with or without Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin has shown the ability to win 9 or 10 games. And if that's the case, like we've seen in past years, they will get into the playoffs. And one thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've had no issue being relevant in divisional football in the AFC North. So therefore, I do believe with a highly motivated Aaron Rodgers, with an Aaron Rodgers who seems to be having fun along with a very, very potentially dominant defense backing him, the Pittsburgh Steelers will get into the playoffs. And that's not a biased take coming from BMAC, Jenny. That's a real, honest take.
That's a real take from the heart and from the mind. I got to ask real quick before we move on, do you think that Rodgers is kind of playing with just free will right now? I mean, people want the Steelers to be successful. They want Rodgers to do well over there. But if they don't, it's like, we tried. What do you think is going on in his mind?
I think he wants to have fun. He really wants to have fun, and he still has that itch and that desire to compete for a championship. And the Pittsburgh Steelers wanted him as well. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going into this final year of his career, number one, wanting to have fun, but also trying to accomplish another championship-like year. And he believed both things could happen in Pittsburgh. I was there with him last week, and he just talked about how much fun he's having with the guys, staying up late, playing video games. Think about that. Aaron Rodgers is in his 40s, and he's staying up late playing video games, not because they're forcing him to do that, but because he wants to, because he loves the camaraderie that they're creating there in St. Vincent Latrobe.
All right, we'll see. Got to play some video games. Maybe that's the thing. Just like chill a little bit. See what happens. I like this next one. Tell me more what you love about this Patriots team. Year one under Vrabel. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, number one, their division, the AFC East, is Buffalo and no one else, right? Everyone else is trying to figure things out. So when you look at the uncertainty with all the other teams in that division, one thing I can say, Janie, if you had to rank the head coaches in the AFC East based on head coaching experience, you would take Mike Vrabel number 2 behind Sean McDermott, right? Okay, Aaron Glenn, his first experience, so clearly he'll be dead last, but Mike Vrabel would be the second best coach. Not to mention the talent they added to their team via free agency or just through the draft. They really hit on every major concern they had from a year ago to improve those weaknesses. And we're starting to see that in terms of what we're hearing from training camp, and not to mention seeing what they did in week 1 in the preseason game. If Drake May can take steps in the right direction, yes, this is a team that I think can get into the playoffs. And oh, by the way, when you look at the SOS strength of schedule, they have one of the more favorable schedules in the National Football League, which actually could help their chances to get into the playoffs.
This you just mentioned also in that conversation. You got to talk about the Bills and the Chiefs here when you look at the AFC. I mean, they have developed just this strong rivalry. You got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes constantly battling it out. The Bills have had success in the regular season. The Chiefs usually have their number in the playoffs. Can we expect another Bills-Chiefs rivalry matchup? What do you think?
Yes, that's my prediction in terms of the AFC championship ball game, right? Championship weekend, I have the Buffalo Bills playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think this is the Buffalo Bills' years. Like, this is their year. If you've been a Bills fan and you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s, unfortunately, you witness or you remember the 4 championship appearances in which they lost, right? I grew up a New York Giants fan, and when Scott Norwood missed that field goal against the New York Giants, that was one of the best days of my life because I was a Giants fan. And that kind of changed the course of one organization and kind of hurt the other organization because they never got an opportunity to get out of their way in terms of Super Bowl letdowns. This is a very, very talented team with a very, very talented quarterback. I love the coach and the additions that they've made on the defensive side, bulking up the interior of their defensive line, adding playmakers in the secondary, adding a high-level edge rusher in Bosa. When he is, quotation marks, healthy, I think this is their year. So Bills Mafia, I'm not willing to jump off a table with you guys, but I'm willing to back that this could be your year. So get the mustard ready and put mustard and ketchup on yourself because hopefully you guys will have a reason to do so week in and week out throughout this regular season as you get ready for a playoff run. Ketchup and mustard, they put that on themselves for some reason.
I gotta get up to a Bills game. I feel like I need to jump through a table at some point in my life, right? Everyone should do that.
I would love to see you jump through a table.
I feel like let's make it happen. Let's we'll figure it out at some point this season. I'll go from college to Buffalo and we'll see what happens. We're going to go over to the NFC now, okay? I want to pull up your bracket, kind of take a look at how you're divvying this all out. The Eagles are Super Bowl champs. Are we looking at a back-to-back situation here? What are your thoughts about this Philadelphia team?
It's hard to go back-to-back. It's very, very hard to do so. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they can get back-to-back. I think they will be, I know, concerning health, good health, they're going to be successful. As you see, Jenny, I have them rated the #1 team in the NFC once the regular season is over. But I don't know if they could get all the way back to a championship-like opportunity in San Francisco because it's hard. It's hard. You have that target on your back. When you win that championship, I mean, everyone is gunning for you. Everyone is going to give you their best effort along with understanding and knowing this will be a new offensive, not structure, but anytime you have a new coordinator in place, sometimes that can kind of shake up things a little bit. But if they got to that level again, I'm not surprised. But just for my prediction right now, I have them the #1 seed in the NFC, but I don't have them getting to the Super Bowl.
Ooh, a little sneak peek at what we're going to be talking about in a few seconds. I want to keep it right now and talk about the Niners. Bouncing back, you think, after a down year in 2024, 6-11 last season. What do you expect in 2025?
Well, I have the Niners solely in my playoff bracket in the NFC, just assuming really, really good health, right? That was an issue for their letdown of a year in 2024. Injuries to so many contributors throughout their team, offensively and defensively, major playmakers, right? But if they're healthy, you don't question the talent they have on their team. When they're healthy, you don't question their ability to win ball games and do so in an entertaining fashion. So I think this is their year. I think they will find a way to get back into the playoffs. But like I said, I'm making this prediction with the Niners, assuming they will have a good, clean bill of health.
When you look at this NFC Championship matchup and what you can expect, who do you got going head-to-head?
Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, against the Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh.
And hear me out with this. The reason why I'm predicting this matchup in the NFC Championship game is, #1, look at what both teams did a year ago. With so many adverse situations they were dealing with, they found ways to overcome those said situations. #2, the confidence in which both quarterbacks display when they play. And I have to really put this into this statement as well. I'm making this pick with the Rams under the assumption that Matthew Stafford is not dealing with any more back soreness. He doesn't need any more shots or Advil or Tylenol. He's good. That's why I'm making this assumption. Now, if he's not healthy, no question, I got to go ahead and rethink this thing. But I'm making this prediction under the assumption that Matthew Stafford, #9, is ready to go. I have him going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I have the Rams beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. Remember what they did last year in the snow? They were the most competitive team that Eagles saw in their postseason run. And some people feel like, hey, if it didn't snow as much as it did, The Rams might have found a way to squeak that one out and beat Philly in Philly. Sean McVay is the second best head coach in the National Football League, in my opinion, behind Andy Reid. The last 2 years, what he's done, win with less, in my opinion, has been amazing. Now they're getting more talent around some of their impactful players. And don't forget about that young defensive line unit that rushed the passes better than almost than any other unit in the National Football League. Yes, I have the Rams coming out on top in the NFC.
I got a quick question before we move on. If the regular season started this weekend, do you think Matthew Stafford would be playing?
No. If the regular season started Sunday, with a kickoff game on Thursday and a game on Friday, Sunday, Matthew Stafford wouldn't be playing.
All right, we'll see what happens.
If I could give Matthew Stafford my back, I would. But I don't know if that's possible.
Hand backs out to people. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he would take your back over what he's dealing with right now. Well, not everyone gets a happy ending when it comes to the postseason. You know, that's the dream for every team. Last year, the Commanders made a shocking run all the way to the NFC Championship game. It was so fun to watch. You got them missing the playoffs entirely this year. What's going on, B-Mac?
Well, in terms of that sophomore slump, potentially, I think it could happen with the Commanders. And the thing about the Commanders is this season, Jenny, they can't sneak up on anyone. They can't, right? A year ago, it was almost like by the month of November, oh, they can really play, right? But now you can't sneak up on anyone. And then the last time I checked, Terry McLaurin is nowhere close to being in camp. So the rhythm, whenever he returns to camp with his guys, the rhythm might be a bit scarce. And how much improved will their defense be, especially with some of the young guys in the secondary? So I'm a bit concerned about the Commanders. I'm not saying I expect for them to have a below 500 type season. No, but I don't know if they will get into the playoffs. And this is a prediction. Anything can happen. I really believe Jaden Daniels going to have another year, great year. But in terms of just getting opposing teams' best effort, that's how they're going to treat the Commanders. And for Dan Quinn, he's going to have to find a way to keep his guys tuned in, because this year is not going to be the same as it was a year ago when people were a bit surprised to see them doing what they were doing. No, they expect you to do that. How will they handle those set expectations along with the difficulties in terms of the teams they will see with their best effort coming at them?
The film and all the studying a little bit different in year two. I still think they're going to have a great year. I'm just throwing that out there. What about the Bengals? You have them missing the playoffs for the third straight season. B-Mac, talk to me.
What are they going to do in defense? I mean, like, I know they got Al Golden there, but is the defense better? Well, the defense can't be better. You know why, Jenny? You know why? Because Trey Hendrickson is nowhere close to participating as we see it right now, right? He was their best defensive player last year, and they were bad. They were bad. Did you not see the preseason game against Philly? Tanner McKee is still throwing for first downs against their first unit. The Eagles starters didn't play offensively. So I know their offense is going to score probably around 30 points. They're going to need to, but I don't know if they can get the necessary stops. That's my issue, getting the necessary stops. And also, when you look at Joe Burrow in the AFC North, he struggles against those divisional teams. I mean, that's a proven commodity. Just look at the numbers, you know what I mean? So I understand they have so many high-level players on the offensive side, but at some point in time, your defense is going to have to answer the call, even if it's a collect call. And I don't know if they're going to answer it.
You always got to pick up the collect call. You got to answer the call.
I have to.
You have to.
Man, I used to hate picking up that collect call.
Yeah? You want to talk to us about that? All right, we'll continue on. Let's talk the big game, the Super Bowl. Who do you got going at each other, and who's going to come out on top? 2025 early prediction. B-Mac, what do you think?
In San Francisco Levi Stadium, my Super Bowl matchup will be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Buffalo Bills. I have the Buffalo Bills coming out on top. This would definitely remove a lot of grief for Buffalo fans if this is able to become a reality. I think it's their time. I love their balance. I believe James Cook will get this extension done. You look at what he brings to the offense. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. The improvements they've made on the defense is going to really get them over the hump to be able to hoist the sticky Lombardi. Hey, Jenny, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you know why I call the Lombardi the sticky Lombardi? Do you know why?
Do I want to know? Huh? I don't. Why?
You don't? Okay, so when you get the Lombardi after you win it, you know, we pass the Lombardi down. And after you win it, you still have sweat coming from your face. You have sweat coming from your uniform. So by the time it gets to the 10th person, you holding it is sticky, is sweaty, people have kissed it. It's sticky. It's the sticky Lombardi. So that's what we used to say in Pittsburgh. Anytime we got to that level, hey, man, we're going to hoist that sticky Lombardi. So usually when they got to me, it was sticky because I was like the 15th or the 20th person to get my hands on it and hold it near to my heart. So that's why I call it the sticky Lombardi. A lot of people don't know it's sticky when you get to it because a lot of people don't get a chance to hoist the sticky Lombardi. But when you feel it, it's sweat, it's all of that. But it feels so good. I want to put my sweat on it once again. But that's why I call it sticky.
Do you just want to put that sticky Lombardi in your arms and just squeeze it tight? I mean, anybody would be willing to hold it at that point. I don't care what it feels like. I remember, I thought you were going to go like champagne. I guess that's more like a baseball thing with the trophies. There's just champagne popping everywhere, which is very sticky. But hey, sweat. We'll go with sweat. BMAC, always great stuff. We love you here on HQ. Thank you for breaking it all down. We'll see if any of your predictions come true. Remember, we've got more NFL playoff coverage. We got analysis, predictions all day long, every single day, right here on CBS Sports HQ. We are streaming free 24/7.